All right, now, so the next thing we are going to be doing is the Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, so when you come to your start menu, you can find it here. Okay, or you can as well just search and type micro, or just you can say PowerPoint. You just go PowerPoint straight away. So PowerPoint. All right, PowerPoint here. So here is showing. So I will have to open this. Okay. So you wait for it to open. So now what is PowerPoint? So PowerPoint is a Microsoft application or software or program, but most of the time we better use a application, Yeah. So it's an application that is mostly used for presentation or what we know as a slide presentation. Okay. So it's still all about editing of creating and editing of a Word document or a text document, okay, which can have images in it as well and texts. But in the most case use of Microsoft PowerPoint is for presentation or slide presentation, maybe in a meeting, or maybe you're going to or teach some people, or you want to make a presentation of like a budget in a company, or a presentation of an agenda or whatever is it. So you can use a Microsoft PowerPoint to prepare your presentation, okay, so that you can use it to what? Deliver the presentation you want to make to your team or to your company for a better visual understanding of what you're saying, you understand? Because some of the time you might just be talking and they may not fully grasp the picture of what you want to say or what you're presenting. But through PowerPoint and a presentation, you can be able to kind of communicate a picture, you understand, of the idea you are trying to pass across, you understand? Okay, so now a PowerPoint is very simple. It's same just like Microsoft Word in several of the features, okay? Because if you look at this interface, you can see the similar things that we already did on the Microsoft Word. So we will not have to like start going over all of them again. You understand? Yeah. So here, okay, first of all, at this left side, you have a slides, all right? So these slides is something that you might call pages, okay? Now, so you can create a slide or, edit a particular slide. So when you open it, it will just open this slide by default, all right? Now, there are different kinds of slides you can create. So if you want to create a slide, first of all, you can just come to this spot and just right click on it and you see new slide. All right. You can also see duplicate slide or delete slide or add section and all of those stuff. So if I click on new slide, you see, I just added a new slide. So now I have two slides. This is the first slide, this is the second slide. So in this first slide, it already gave you a kind of a startup placeholder for you to just start up. So maybe I just want to do a presentation. I'll now say annual budget, all right, as a name. Then here you put in the subtitle, maybe you just put in, understanding the budget. All right. Okay. Understanding the budget. Okay. Okay. So this is my heading and this is subheading. Now the next one already gave us a placeholder to proceed. So the next one I can now say my first topic. You understand that the first topic you want to talk about is what is budget? Okay. And then under what is budget, there are several things. You can write like several subheadings, like you can say um like under what is budget, that you want to explain everything about budget. So you can say the concept, or let's say the origin of budget, budgets. Now the next point, the concept of budgeting. Okay. Next one, you just keep on adding topic on and on. Let's just add one more. Um, Financial budgeting. All right. Now, so when you're done with this, you can create another slide, right click here, create new slide, and it keeps bringing up this for you to keep on writing. Now, PowerPoint is not actually used for, writing a whole lot of words like Microsoft Word. It is used for just writing things in a kind of, points. You understand? What you want to explain, you just start, the way I'm just writing these points now. So it is now up to me during my presentation. When I get to this slide, I will start explaining the first point, the origin of budget. Now I will explain to my, audience. All right. When I'm done with that, I'll explain the next point. I'll explain the next point, till then I move to the next slide, all of those stuff, you understand? So that's what PowerPoint is all about. Okay. All right. So it also have the same text editing features like your Microsoft Word. Okay. First of all, let's start up with the file. You can see the exact same thing that I showed you in Microsoft Word. It is exactly the same. You understand? So you can see the save, the save as, open, close, new, print, all of those stuff that we've done on Microsoft Word. It's all the same here. Now, in the home, you can see the clipboard, the cut, the copy, format paints, the paste, they're all here. New slide. You can also create a new slide from here. Now you can also set the layout. You understand? Now, when you click on this, it will show you different layouts. All right. So you can just choose one. When I click on this, you see that you just change this to another layout, you understand? Okay. So depending on how you want your presentation to look like, that will determine the kind of layout you will choose. All right. Okay. Here is the font where you change the font, and then the font controls, the bold, italics, and underline. This is also the strike through. Okay. The strike through is when you highlight a text like this and click on the strike through, it will strike it off like this. You understand? So it depends on what you want to use. Okay. All right. So all of these are here. The text grow, the font case controls here, they're all here. The font color, all the stuff that we've done in Microsoft Word, they are all here. Even in the paragraph section, you can see the text alignment. You can align this left, center, or right, or justify, and then the bullet points are all here. The numberings are all here. You understand? So you just refer to the course on Microsoft Word and you continue flowing with all of this. You understand? All right. So here, okay, now let me open another slide. Now you can also choose to open a blank slide, you understand? For example, I right click on this and I'll click on new slide. All right. Now I just click on a new slide and it gave me this. Now what I'll just do is just I'll just right click on this slide, all right? And I'll check the layout. I'll just select blank. I've made this one blank. Maybe you just want to create your own custom layout. You can go ahead and do that. All right. Okay. So now here, this is where you arrange your objects, assuming now we will get to the image before we do this one. So meanwhile, this is basically the same thing with your Microsoft Word, all right? You can see the find and replace all that we've done in the Microsoft Word, okay? Now next is the insert. So the same thing on the insert in your Microsoft Word, they are the same thing that you can also insert here. You see, so these are all the stuff we've done. This is tables, this is photos, clip arts, screenshots, photo albums, shapes. You remember we did all of this hyperlinks, text box, header and footer, word art, a whole lot, even symbols. You can see all of those here. All right. Now, when you come to design, the design, you can use it to set up the page orientation, like portrait or landscape. You can see I just switched and it came to portrait. All right. And this is back to landscape. Now, these ones are just themes. Understand? You can choose to start up with a theme. Okay. Initially, we started up with the custom blank default theme. Okay. Here, but I can just select this theme and it changes the whole document with this theme. You see, so you can see how the slides appears now. So I have a new theme here. So you can choose the one you want. All right. See, I just checked this one and it just gave me a new theme. So you can just explore. There are a whole lot of themes here. All right. So you just choose the one that suits your requirements. Okay. Then now here in transition, now like I already told us, okay, let me just choose one of the themes. Let me just make use of this one. Yeah, this one, it's okay. Now the next tab is transition. Now this transition is used, for determining how those slides will appear. Okay, you understand? Because we already know that PowerPoint is used for presentation. So when you want to switch to another slide during your presentation, how it's going to appear. So you can actually assign different transitions to each slide. Okay, so let's just do it. Now this one, I'll just assign fading to this one. Now the next one, I'll assign, push to this one. Now the next one, I'll assign, split, or let's say reveal, or okay, random bars to this one. Then to this one, let's assign something else to this one. Okay, so you can just, let's assign this to this one. All right. Now, so when we will start the slideshow, you will see how they will be coming in and out. Understand? All right. Next is a animation. Now, animation, you can apply animation to the elements of the slides. All right. For example, I just highlighted this annual budget, and I can just put an animation to it. You understand? You see how it's animating? It's what flying in. All right. Then let me select this one and this one. If you highlight this one, select this one, you see how it will just show up. All right, it will just animate. So whichever one that suits you, you can make use of that. Okay, I think I like this one. All right, so that's it about animation. You can also set the duration, if you want it to be slower, or however, and then you can also choose how it will work. So on click, then the animation will work, or with previews, or after previews. You understand? It will work depending on how you want it. You understand? Now this is slideshow tab. Now this slideshow tab here, enables us to just start up the slide basically. All right. Okay. So when I click this from beginning, wow. Now I just started my slideshow. You see? So here, now remember the animation that I selected, it's on click. So when I click, you see the annual budget just popped in like this from down. You see that? Now I can choose to click the mouse again to get to the next slide. You see how the transition is going. See, this is that transition that we selected, how the slides will move in. All right. Okay. And then when I click again, this one comes up, the animation. So now you see the difference between animation and the transition. So transition is applied to the slide, while animation is applied to the elements of a slide. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's proceed with our slideshow. You see, now I'm on the next page now. So you can, you can skip, like you can keep moving on and on by clicking the mouse, you see, or by using your arrow key on the keyboard by hitting next. You understand? And so now I've come to the end of my slideshow, and when I click the mouse again, it returns me back to the document. All right, so that is it. All right, basically. Now the next thing you do is the review. Now the review here, the major thing you need here is about the spell check. When you click on the spelling, it will just try to filter out or find incorrect spellings, and from there you can start correcting them based on what you want. All right. Yeah. Okay. So then comments, you can actually open up comments and put in some comments. Maybe you're working with a team, you can just put in a comment, or maybe you left off your work somewhere and you want to just say what you wanted to do, so that when you come, you can just check your comments, understand, and then know what next you need to do. After that, you can also delete the comment and it goes. All right. And then this view is about the how the window view appears. You understand? You can view it like this, as a slide sorter, or as a notes page, or as a read view. You understand? So all of this is already giving us a slideshow again. You understand? Yeah, but this is not the appropriate place to just go for the slideshow. If you want to go for the slideshow, just go to the first place that we went to. All right. And yeah, you can see this is the main slideshow. All right. So I can just hit on escape, or I just finish up my slide to get back my screen. All right. So you just go back to the normal view. So it's mostly done like this, to have the normal view so that you can preview the next slides here. All right. So that is it about your PowerPoint. So when you're done, you just save your work. You remember what we talked about saving and how we saved in Microsoft? You remember what we talked about saving and how we saved it in Microsoft Word. All right. So this is it about the PowerPoint, the Microsoft PowerPoint. Very easy to use and to manipulate. All right.